I work in a second-hand shop, mostly with tech, and day in, day out, without fail, people are looking for laptops. Usually it takes a few questions in order to get somebody the right machine, and we get a wide variety of answers for each of these questions, except one. When we ask, what's your preferred operating system? It's always Windows or Mac, but there is an often forgotten third pillar in the modern laptop space, the Chromebook. Yes, I know, I've heard it all. They're for students, you can't do anything on them. Useless. Whenever I suggest one, I always hear those answers, and they're always from people who've never even actually used one. So I thought, screw it, I'm gonna take the plunge. I'm gonna use only a Chromebook as my primary computer for the next few days. Do you know what? I'm kind of tempted by a Chromebook now. First of all, let's get the cons out of the way. There are actually just way less than I thought there'd be. Bear in mind, I'm not like a massive tech snob or anything like that. I'm just trying to look at this for like somebody who's looking for a basic like daily driver. So the biggest drawback for me was actually specific to the model of Chromebook that I was using. The screen did have some pretty bad viewing angles and quite a low resolution, but all I had to do was just sit head on and not sit too close. Addressing the elephant in the room, Chromebooks are made to be online, and when they're offline they can't really do that much. There are some apps you can install, but they're basically just Android apps scaled up for a laptop. And if you do go down this route, most Chromebooks don't even have 64 gigabytes of memory, so it fills up pretty fast. And really, that was it. I really didn't come across anything else that made it feel like using a Chromebook was a negative experience of sorts. So let's take a look at the other side of the coin and check out the pros. See a reason to actually get one for yourself perhaps. The first thing that I noticed after using a Razer laptop for the last year was just how sleek and light the Chromebook is. I could chuck this in any bag of mine and it just slid into the back of my head. It was so small, it didn't get in the way once, and I literally couldn't even feel it in my back. And despite it being so thin, I don't think I ever felt it get warm once, even after using it for some longer sessions. That's actually somewhat of a benefit for using modern day low-end specs. They're often less power hungry, so they just don't drain the battery that fast or even produce much heat. And yeah, I know I'm saying low spec, but this would only be low spec if you're comparing it to a Windows computer of the same spec. The Chrome operating system is so much more lightweight and has so much less bloat, and because of this, it can run on anything. So that meant even though this is only an N4000 Celeron chip, it could handle 4K YouTube with multiple tabs open, no issue. The operating system being so simple means you get faster boots, longer battery life, and more of the PC freed up to focus on your tasks. One of the ways that the operating system is kept so light is by moving a lot of the stuff that was saved on the local drive to cloud-based systems. For example, instead of installing Microsoft Office or Teams, you just use Google's online service like Docs, Sheets, and Google Meet. And with the rise of cloud gaming, you can even use a low-end laptop like this with services like GeForce Now to play the newest AAA games with reasonable settings and frame rates. And thankfully, this device had a full-size USB-A port and Bluetooth connectivity, so I was able to use a wireless mouse and keyboard with ease for gaming. And to be honest, gaming was the only time I actually wanted to use a different keyboard, because typing on this thing was pretty nice. Speaking of connectivity, there's also a microSD card for expandable storage, Type-C port for charging, a headphone jack, and the previously mentioned full-size USB-A port and Bluetooth, which allows for integration with phones as well as other input and output devices. But what I think most people will benefit from with the Chromebook is the fact that they tend to be so much cheaper than their Windows counterparts, with much better performance at the same specs, along with a much lower risk of viruses. They are super easy and intuitive to use, especially for people who have already used Google services like Android. And all you got to do to get started is log in with your Google account. And one of my favorite features is a callback to Google's search engine origins. They have a dedicated physical search button that allows you to access Google at any moment. With how far Google reaches into the online space nowadays, they've suitably named this the everything button. So that's it, a brilliant, cheap, lightweight laptop with a really long-lasting battery life. Like, what more is there to want? It's built for the internet in the age of the internet. It's a win-win, surely. And you know what they're really good for? Checking out the new Once website. Thanks to being recently refurbished, you can now check out more stock on the website than ever. You can order online and have it delivered to your door or to collect in store. And if there's something you see on the internet and you want to have a look at before you buy it, just come in store and say, hey, saw this on the website, can I have a look at it? And you can do that. Try before you buy kind of thing. And of course, we're always looking to buy things, and that can be done through the site now as well. There's a small little form you can fill out where we just ask for a few details about the item that you're selling, and then we get back to you with a price. Anyway, so after all that, I think it's about time that I get back to scripting this video on my lovely new Chromebook.